Okay, today we will be looking at volume of cylinders. And here's what a cylinder looks like. It has two bases, they're both circles, and this is the height. So for this cylinder, we're going to give it a radius of 2 and a height of 3. So let's go ahead and open up, and we're going to go through the entire process of finding the volume of a cylinder. Now the first thing that you need to do is identify the base. Now when I look at the base of my cylinder and shade it in, I see that it is a circle. So that is the first thing that you should identify. The next thing that we need to do is find the area of the base. This is what we're going to call capital B. And this is what you see on your formula charts. You're going to see capital B. Now that doesn't stand for you plugging in the 2. That means area of the base. So since the base is a circle, you're going to have to remember to our previous lesson where we know that area of a circle is pi r squared. And using our information, we're going to go ahead and find that area of a circle. Instead of pi, we write 3.14 times r squared. The radius is 2, so it's 2 squared. And then just let the calculator do the rest of the work for you. So 3.14 times 2 squared. Don't forget that the square button on the calculator is right here. There it is. And we get 12.56. So we found the area of the base. The next thing we need to identify is the height, which is 3. And now that we have found our basic components, we can go ahead and find volume. Now the very first step is always to go ahead and write down the formula. When we look at our star chart, the formula for volume is capital B H. This is not base, this is area of the base. It is very different than little b. Now we found area of the base, we did all of that work here. So we're not going to go here and put 2 because it belongs to that circle. We put the number that goes with area of the base, which is 12.56, and we multiply that by the height. And we get that it is 37.68. And since it is volume, that is units cubed. So that is how you find the volume of a cylinder. Let's go ahead and do a couple of other examples. Here we go, example 1. Now the very first thing that we need to do is just go ahead and write down the formula for volume, which is capital B, which means area of the base, times the height. I'm going to go ahead and shade in my bases, which are circles. So I know that in order to find capital B, I need to find the area of a circle, which is pi r squared. Now when I look at my shape, I don't see the radius. They don't give me the radius. They give me the diameter. So it is my job to find the radius. And if you remember finding the radius of a circle, given the diameter, we have to divide by 2 to find the radius. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. That means my radius is 2. So now you're ready to do area of the base. 3.14 times 2, which is the radius, squared. And when we do that on our calculators, we get 12.56. So now you have found capital B. So capital B is a process. You have to use another formula. It's not just grabbing the number and putting it in there. H is for height. We do have the height, which is 3. And now we do volume. Now we can plug into our original formula. Instead of capital B, we have 12.56 times 3. which gives us 37.68 inches cubed. So the big key on this one is to identify that they give you diameter and that you have to turn that into a radius. That could be our mistake if you don't catch that. Okay, let's go ahead and do example 2. Now we have this cylinder. In order to find the volume, we're going to first write down the formula. Capital BH, remember this stands for area of the base. So I'm going to look at the base. And I know that is a circle. So I know that it'll be found by multiplying pi r squared. Now they're asking me for a radius. I'm going to look at my shape, and they did give me the radius. So I don't need to do anything additional like in the other example. So we can go ahead and find the area of the circle, which is 3.14 times our radius, which is 3.5 squared. And we get 38.465. After we're finished identifying or finding area of the base, we can go ahead and find our height, which is the distance from base to base, which is 10.2. And now we can go ahead and plug into our original formula. Instead of capital B, we're going to write 38.465 times the height, which is 10.2. And we will get our answer. We can go ahead and round to the nearest tenth. Since we have a 4 next to the 3 stays the same. So it'll be 392.3. That way we don't have to write all of those numbers. And this is units cubed since it's volume. So again, the key is to make sure that you're finding the area of that circle before you plug into the final volume formula. Now let's go ahead and look at some word problems. A small plastic storage container is in the shape of a cylinder. It has a radius of 7.6 centimeters and a height of 3 centimeters. What is the volume of the storage cylinder? So whenever you have a word problem, they're talking about a shape, the very first thing I want you to do is to draw that shape. I know that it is a cylinder. Let's go ahead and draw a cylinder. And let's see what information they give me. They give me the radius, which I know that it's from the center to the edge, and it is 7.6. And they give me the height. And it is asking me for the volume. So that I know that for volume, I need area of the base times height. So I first need to find area of the base, then height, and then I can go back to my original formula. When I look at the base, I know that I have circles. So the area of a circle is pi r squared. They're asking me for radius, and they did give me the radius, so I don't need to do anything extra. So I can go ahead and do the area of a circle formula, which is 3.14 times radius, which is 7.6 squared. And I get 181. Again, let's go ahead and round to the nearest tenth. I have a 6 next to the 3. That means the 3 becomes a 4. So 181.4. And now you found area of the base. Let's go ahead and find the height, which they give me. It is 3. And now that I have those two components, I can plug into my original formula. Instead of area of the base, I can put 181.4 times. And instead of h, I can put 3 for height. And I have my answer, 544. And my units are centimeters cubed. So our last word problem example. A can of juice has a diameter of 6.6 centimeters and a height of 12.1 centimeters. What is the total volume of a 6-pack of juice cans? So again, it's talking about shapes and they do not give me a picture. So let's go ahead and think about what a can of juice is. It's just like a can of soda. So that is a cylinder. And it has a diameter. It's very different than before. It has a diameter 6.6. That line goes all the way through. And it has a height of 12.1 centimeters. Now it is asking me for the volume, total volume of a 6-pack. So we're gonna first find the volume of one can and then we'll go back to the answer, the question. So since it's asking me for volume, let's go ahead and write down the formula for volume. Capital B, which is area of the base times height. So I know that I need to find area of the base. I need to find the height. Since it is the bases are circles, I know that I need the formula for area of a circle, pi r squared. They're asking me for a radius, but the problem gives me diameter. So remember that we divide by 2 to find the diameter, the radius. So 6.6 divided by 2 gives me 3.3. And that is the radius. So once I have the radius, which is what the formula is asking me for, now you can do this formula. 3.14 times 3.3 squared. And here we go. Let's not write all these numbers. Let's just round to the nearest 10. So I have a 9 next to that 1. That means the 1 goes up 1, so it's 34.2. And the height is 12.1. Now that I have area of the base and height, I can plug into my original formula. Instead of capital B or area of the base, I write 34.2 times the height, which is 12.1. And I get 413.82. Again, let's just round to the nearest 10. I have a 2. That means the 8 stays the same. Remember, less than 5, it stays the same. So 413.8. And that is centimeters cubed. Now, go ahead and go back to the question and see if you answer it. What is the total volume of a 6-pack of juice cans? You have only found the volume of one can. You want for a 6-pack. So since I want for a 6-pack, instead of adding this 6 different times, we can just go ahead and multiply. 413.8 times 6. And here we go. 2,482.8. Centimeters cubed for a 6-pack. That's why we multiplied by 6. So this is our final answer. So again, the most important things to be on the lookout for this is to follow the formula. Please know that for capital B, you're not just going to plug in a number. You have to go through an actual formula, the area of a circle formula. And when you do the area of a circle, they're asking you for a radius. So if they give you a diameter, you have to divide by 2. So a couple of steps there for you to make sure that you're doing. Do the formula for area of a circle for capital B. And for area of a circle, they're asking you for a radius. So make sure that you are actually using the radius and not the diameter. Thank you.